To tonight's Board of Health meeting for Wednesday, September 10th, 2025. Just a reminder, we are being recorded. Right. First thing we'll do is roll call, please.
Joyce Gilmore here.
Jack McClellan here.
Colleen Straponi here.
Tom.
Tom's not here.
Tom Fickner.
I think he's there.
Did he lose his connection?
No, he's there.
Does he not realize he's on mute?
No, his microphone's working.
We do have one member who is on vacation who's dialing in. We seem to be having a little difficulty, but we know he's there. Alan Greenberg here, so the gang is all here. We will move on. Good and welfare for the public. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to offer something of interest to the community, or anyone online? Right, if no one has anything, I will bring to your attention, if you don't already know, we lost a longtime member of the Board of Health family, someone who was well known throughout the state of Massachusetts and dedicated his whole career to the better health of the public. Lenny Izzo passed away. So he will be missed. Very well respected member of the community. I very trusted. I know my wife, when she would renew her notary, he was one of the few people that you could go to as a notary to get your notary re-upped. There weren't many people available, and he was one of them. So he was well trusted. So we will miss him. Tom, keep trying, bud.
I'm texting with him now.
All right, we're gonna move on to new business. First up is 24 Kinsley Lane. Gentlemen.
Good evening, John Dennett with D&L Design Group. I'm representing Carlos Benjamin tonight. Carlos had a party on the 4th of July with a few people at the house, and the septic tank overflowed. Carlos never even realized he was on a tight tank. He had the system pumped twice a year, and someone at some point prior to him buying the house had put an overflow pipe in. I don't know where it goes or what it goes into, but it must have finally clogged up and sealed up, and his tank was overflowing. So he had the tank pumped. He's been supplying pumping records, I think, at monthly pumping records. He hired Dave Claro, I guess his septic installer's license had expired in December, but I think he's since renewed that.
Correct.
To fix the pipe, but he got nervous because it wasn't getting done right away. So him and a buddy dug it up and capped the pipe. So they cut it and capped it, and that's all sealed now. So it is a tight tank. It was permitted. I was actually working at G&H at the time when it was permitted. It was almost a full year to get it permitted on Kinsley Lane through the state to get that tight tank permitted. The lot is all ledge. I don't even know where the pipe could go to. We couldn't get any testing on it at the time. So that's the situation. It's been remedied. It's been capped. He's been supplying pumping records to the town. He's fine doing that for as long as you guys. He was having the system pumped twice a year prior to that. But that's definitely not enough for a tight tank. So that's the.
Do you have a copy of the permit from the state? Because we don't have any records.
I can get a hold of that for you guys and send it to you. Yeah.
Also too, Steve Donatelli, our Title V person.
Yep.
We always spoke with Carlos about it.
Yeah.
He wants a Title V report done.
Yeah. So he hired somebody to do the Title V report.
Yeah.
And he sent a letter, but he's in the hospital right now. That's why you haven't received the complete Title V. He's been ill in the hospital. So as soon as
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Okay.
As soon as he gets out, you'll get the Title V. But he hired somebody right away to do that. I think they sent you a letter, not
You sent me a letter.
Letter, yeah.
I'm looking
And
for
then
the
you said
actual
that
report.
he needed a report, and
Right.
then he got sick and he's been in the hospital, so that's why you haven't gotten the report yet. But he has him hired to do the Title V. Nothing else.
Well, I know he was in the hospital, but the sooner or later, because we're curious about what's going on with the tank. I know that this pipe was capped. They filled it here. It's covered. Is
I
there
think if it's a
anything-
tight tank, it's just coming from his
There's no other
house.
pipe there?
I don't believe so now, but we'll do a full Title V for you.
Can you look in your records to see if you have?
That was G&H. I'll call them and see what I
Okay.
can get from them. I think Bob Poxon designed it originally and he did all the permitting.
Yeah, I'd love to see the documentation. We
Okay.
don't have anything.
Sure, I can call G&H and
Yep.
we're still friends. I can call G&H and get the records for you from them.
So Mr. Benjamin is on a 30-day or more pumping schedule.
Yep,
So he did supply us with the August, I believe next week it will be due for the September one.
Okay, yep.
And the sooner that we can get that Title V report done, the better.
absolutely. And if he can't do it in the next couple of weeks,
Right, I was
well,
gonna
we can do it.
suggest maybe, yeah, within the next 10 days,
Okay,
then maybe we should look at other Title V inspectors.
Who's doing the pumping?
Mr. Dowling,
Okay. And you have a written agreement, a maintenance agreement with him to come on a regular basis?
I just been calling them up before, the 30 days.
Okay,
yeah, so we can supply you with a maintenance agreement through them that they're gonna pump it every 30.
yeah, that would be the best thing, and that way
Yeah.
you don't have to call him.
Yeah.
He's just gonna keep coming. And that way it's not a worry. And you won't have any problems, especially if you're not familiar with a tight tank or a leach field.
My first.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you're learning the hard way. You've got an expert sitting beside you, so he can advise you as to what the maintenance required, so that every time you have people over, you're not gonna have any issues.
has the alarm been installed?
Oh, yes, John Erickson Electrical installed the alarm.
Okay, did he pull a permit for that?
That
I
I don't
believe,
believe.
Jack.
There was no permit pulled.
Okay,
Okay, I'll find out from John.
yeah, make sure all the paperwork is in order. We would appreciate that.
We'll get you everything in the next 10 days.
Okay.
The board have any concerns with the fact that the work was done by an unlicensed septic and hauler?
I-
Installer?
Okay, was the work initially, I'm hearing that there was a panic.
Yeah, he capped it himself and nothing else has been done since he capped. He cut the pipe and glued a PVC cap all over the pipe.
And I left it exposed so the people can, I was just nervous, so it goes out, so.
So a licensed person should inspect
Sure.
this repair.
Yep.
And make sure that it's permanent,
So
supply some kind of documentation.
I had already told him I thought you would want the pipe removed and that hydraulic cement put in instead of
Correct.
the PVC pipe. So I think we had already talked about that and he'll have date clarity.
Yeah, and we had, I had a conversation with Steve Donatelli as well. But what about the effluent that was, surrounding the area? What was done to,
Nothing, it's just gone into the ground. It's not there anymore. It was just that one potty that had overflowed.
was there actually an area from where the overflow pipe flowed into an area that,
I don't know, we would have to dig up the yard to try to find that. So if you wanted that done, we could do that, but it's not going there anymore. So I don't see disturbing it would just cause more harm, I think, than good.
As long as that.
And like I said, I don't know where it could go because I remember at G&H, they tested everywhere on that lot, hit ledge everywhere. So it wasn't going far if it was going. It was probably a pipe that was going to the stone around the tank, actually.
yeah, and then what happened was it came down, and flowed over and went across Kinsley Lane and was heading towards the water.
Yeah, so I didn't see any of that.
Yeah, we have
See it.
pictures.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, like I said, it's been taken care of and
That's the good.
we'll move forward in the next 10 days to get you all the
Right,
paperwork.
so that would be great. If we can work together towards compliance, it would be much appreciated. I know the board would appreciate it
And that's really why we're here. We're here to help people comply with the rules. And if you don't know the rules, we're informing you what the rules are so that you know. Again, if you come from an area that has town sewer, it just magically goes away and you don't know.
Well, that's right, the conversation that we had, right?
How long have you owned the property, sir?
6 years.
6 years?
That's the first time it's overflown, so. He had a pump twice a year.
When you bought the property, you weren't aware that you needed to do a Title V?
They did a Title V and it just says tight tank. You have a.
So
copy of
they
that,
did
right?
an incomplete Title V.
Well, the Title V inspector, said that it
No.
was a tight tank, but, there was no alarm on it or anything. And it's only 1,000 gallons too. So I'm curious too, how many bedrooms? There's 2 bedrooms, right?
There's one bed.
Just one? So what are you doing for water conservation as far as, taking showers, laundry, doing laundry there?
No, we do the laundry man. So I did what you told me, so that's
Yeah.
what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's if I do it,
Right, because water conservation is your friend.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do the right thing.
No, you always did, and you were always straightforward, and I appreciated the conversations that we had, and much appreciated them.
Thank you. You guys have been great. So I just,
You guys made him very nervous. I said, don't be too nervous.
I said that.
Squared away.
We can't work towards it
It's
together.
frightening
Yeah.
when things start to deteriorate right before your eyes and you don't know.
I said,
It is
it'll be all
scary.
right.
It is.
We'll get it.
Right, we'll always work together. That's the only way you'll ever achieve anything. is to
So
work together.
he did tell me that he didn't answer an email to you, but he doesn't speak great English. He's a little, I think there was one, no.
Yeah,
I thought he said there was an email that he didn't
we're
respond.
fine.
Okay.
All right, so do you live in the house year round?
yes, sir.
Okay.
Are they just you or 2 of you
It's my wife, and then my stepdaughter. Once in a while, she
comes to
stays.
visit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because with 3 of yous in the house consistently on a 1,000-gallon tank,
No, it's
you'll be
Yes.
pumping it more than 30 days.
But then, even Sean at work and stuff, so it's just, so I you learn because before I
That's right.
know, so.
And he has an alarm now, so the alarm will go off when it gets.
Yeah, I'll take a ride up. I'll take a look at it. And I'll let Stevie Donatelli know too. And then as soon as you can get the report to us, if you would look into G&H.
Yeah, I
See
will.
whatever documentation they have, that would be appreciated too.
Absolutely.
What is it?
All right, Tom Fickner, any questions on this 24 Kinsley Lane or anything you'd like to add, sir?
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
You very well.
Awesome. It's almost like I'm in the room with you people.
Oh, yeah, you're in the room with us.
I am in a room, but a little further away. I kind of jumped in the middle of the conversation of the topic. Sounds like, we have a direction that we're going in. So no particular questions at this point. I think we have an action plan in place, so I appreciate the cooperation of everyone involved.
Okay, so we look forward to getting that missing paperwork and
I'll be talking to both of you. I look forward to it.
Thank you very much.
thank you, gentlemen.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good night.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. Nice to see you too.
Right, moving right along, we're going to move to 5 Harrington Street, noise nuisance complaint. I know we have an audience full of people. If a few of you would like to come up and represent the rest of the group, that would be great. We just don't have enough chairs for all of you. But thank you very much for showing an interest in coming in. May I ask before you speak, just to identify yourself and address
That was part of my intro.
the
So,
recording.
so I'm Tom Belland, and I'm here because of the noise issue. I'm coming from Harrington Street. That's affecting our neighborhood. My left is Cindy Van Slit, a neighbor at 32 Crest Street Drive, and Dr. Jeffrey Lucas at 33 Crestview Drive. I'm going to be talking about some of the timeline and some OSHA facts. Cindy's just going to talk about how it affects her life, and Dr. Lucas is going to talk a little bit about medical effects that it can have on adults and young children as well. Type of noise that we're talking about here. So the noise is loud, it's chronic, it changes your life basically and what they're doing. And it's offensive, you know, it grates at your nerves. It's not like a blaring alarm right in your face, but it's an alarm or several alarms in some cases, plus trucking noises that are constantly being funneled in our direction from the Harrington Street site. And this is a 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. operation. And this is 6 days a week. It's on Saturdays as well. And it's even operated once on a Sunday. So, and, you know, we're here not to shut the business down. We're not here as anti-business folks or anything like that. We had a nice, quiet neighborhood for 35 years, right? The residents behind me here are all affected by it. They've all heard it to some level, or they walk by it and they hear it, and it irritates them just by walking by, but their dogs are just out for a walk and they can hear this pestering noise in the background that just is offensive to us. So we're not here to shut the business down. We would like to just, for us and you and the rest of the time, to work with them. You know, I'll give you a quick rundown of what we've done here. So we noticed this last year. It started last fall. I'm not sure exactly when it started, but we just started hearing this noise. We just assumed it was some construction going on, because this type of noise is typically associated with construction sites. So you have the backup alarms for loaders and dump trucks and things like that. And then around after the holidays, let's say, it became particularly noticeable, and we could hear it right through our windows. You know, windows are shut, hear it through the windows, hear it all day. And so I took a walk over there, and I met the gentleman that runs the operation, the chief instructor, if you will. It's a driving school. And he seemed very, you know, warm and welcoming, and he actually said that he hated those alarms too, because he said, you know, please quiet him down, do something. So I waited about a week and didn't hear anything. And after that, I called Bill Ambrosino, God rest his soul. And I've always called him just to get advice. And I don't know if the planning board was the place to start, but he knows, like, he can usually send me in the right direction. And so he went over there himself, stopped by, asked them if they could do something. And the gentleman said no. And he just said OSHA. So it's used an acronym to describe why they can't do something. Didn't cite a standard, didn't say, you know, what particular types of alarms that they could or couldn't use, and he also mentioned safety, which I get. I'm actually a safety professional. So I understand their concern for their workers, and you know, and you can use, and the OSHA is used for whatever you want, but in this case, I know a lot about OSHA. I'm not an expert, but I know a lot about it, and I know when it applies and when it doesn't. They also said wait till the foliage comes back. Maybe it's a winter thing, no foliage to block the noise. So we really waited till spring. All the foliage came back. The noise is just as bad. I don't know if it bounces off the trees and comes back down. I'm not sure. I'm not a sound engineer. None of us are. But it's still there. It's still annoying. It's still loud. And it's still affecting our lives. So we waited. And then I just happened to be talking to Tom Frickman one day. And he said, well, why don't you bring it to our board? Because I didn't really know where to go at that point. I said, bring it to the Board of Health, because it is affecting our health. You know, Dr. Lucas will talk more about that in a few minutes. But, you know, we're spending time indoors when normally we're outdoors. And just being out there kind of grates on your nerves, just doing even yard work. And I'm not a big fan of yard work. It makes it even worse. So what we're looking for is some relief, right, from this noise. And I sent that letter out. I shared with Tom, and I think he shared it with everyone here. I have other copies as well. It's also copies of the petition that I'll just pass out to you folks. So it's signed by many of the residents behind me, right? And their concern for this issue as well, and of course, the mitigation request as well. And so Cindy, I don't know if you want to like take it from here. Tell, just Cindy's the closest neighbor to this. She's at 32 Crestview Drive. You can actually see the trucks from her backyard,
Yeah.
foliage or no foliage.
Yeah.
And she even said she could hear the workers talking and yelling
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, so you can see them, you can hear them. And I used to spend a lot of time outside. A lot.
Yeah.
And we didn't even put our table out this year with the umbrella. There was no reason to. We weren't going to use it. I used to read outside, crochet outside, everything. Can't. Listen to audiobooks. I can hear it over my headphone, my earbuds.
And I can attest that we walk the neighborhood every day. Cindy's out there all the time. And, you know,
Even at night, we
reading,
like to lay in our
hanging out.
driveway and look at them.
Her grandkids come over, but
Yeah.
we just don't see her anymore.
No. One of the simple pleasures is opening the windows for the fall air to come in. We have to leave our air conditioner on. It's costing us more money because we can't, you just can't stand hearing the constant beep. It's hard.
Appreciate your concern.
And Jeff, I don't know if you want to, I know you hear it at your house as well.
Yeah.
Jeff lives across the street from us. I would say we're the three most affected neighbors.
So I'm Jeff Lucas, resident 33 Crestview Drive since 1994. And our family is, as Thomas mentioned, is negatively impacted by the excessive noise from nearby 5 Harrington Street in Mendon. We've never experienced a chronic problem like this in our part of the neighborhood and all the time we've lived there. And I'm also here as a longstanding member of the local medical community since 1993, a pediatrician at Tri River Family Health Center. And I'm on faculty in the Department of Pediatrics at UMass Chan Medical School. In my comments, I'll touch on the following. Our health is at risk because of the many negative health effects of chronic excessive noise exposure. And by staying inside to avoid that exposure, we're losing out on the health benefits of being outside. The American Public Health Association defines environmental noise as unwarranted and or harmful outdoor sound created by human activities, including noise from road traffic, railroad traffic, airports, and industrial sites to which the public is exposed involuntarily. In the Journal of Exposure Science and Environmental Epidemiology, their February 25 edition on noise as a public health problem, the authors state, noise is an underappreciated environmental stressor. Reference to noise as a, quote, an annoyance or, quote, a nuisance trivializes what is an increasingly serious health problem. Excessive noise from transportation, construction, outdoor power equipment, industrial machinery, leisure and entertainment venues, and other sources is harming not only the auditory health, but also the non-auditory health of billions of people around the world. In the same journal's January 24 article on noise and mental health, the authors outline how excessive noise harms us using the noise stress concept. High decibel noise exposure causes direct injury to the ear, causing hearing loss, and it also activates the stress response. We're not talking about that tonight. We're talking about lower decibel exposure. And lower decibel exposure, as Tom and Cindy pointed out, it makes day-to-day life harder, makes it harder for us to sleep, it makes it harder for us to communicate with each other, all of which turns on, activates the stress response. And in this stress response, we release the stress hormone cortisol, and we activate the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight or freeze response. The stress response, when activated both acutely and chronically, it causes a cascade of significant negative downstream health effects, including chronic inflammation in many multiple organ systems, which is a major factor in many chronic diseases. UCLA Health recently outlined that excessive noise exposure increases the risk of all of the following: heart disease, including high blood pressure and heart attacks, stroke, anxiety, depression, and other behavioral health issues, cognitive impairment. Living with higher levels of residential noise is directly associated with cognitive impairment in people age 45 or older, which is us. Other points from the American Public Health Association. Environmental noise is also implicated in metabolic diseases like type 2 diabetes and obesity. Many studies have shown negative effects of chronic noise on children's cognitive development, including poorer reading comprehension, memory, and listening. And the 2023 AAP, American Academy of Pediatrics policy statement on preventing excessive noise exposure in infants, children, and adolescents highlights that children are uniquely susceptible to the negative impacts of noise exposure. And Cindy and Tom have grandchildren who are directly affected by this excessive noise exposure. To avoid exposing ourselves to the excessive noise, we are spending more time inside, meaning we have less time to reap the rewards of being outside in nature. Recent public patient information articles from the Mayo Clinic and UCLA Health highlight how being in nature helps us. It helps regulate the sympathetic nervous system, which is a big part of the stress response. It thus helps alleviate stress. It helps depression, anxiety, PTSD, and ADHD. It's associated with better cognitive function like memory, attention, creativity, and sleep quality. It boosts our immune system, raising our vitamin D levels and breathing in forest air, improves heart health by lowering blood pressure and heart rate, and it stimulates physical activity. When we exercise outside, we actually do it for longer than when we exercise indoors. So having to stay inside to avoid the noise is like taking a double hit. Being exposed to excessive noise activates the stress response, so we're being harmed by the exposure. Being outside calms down the stress response, and by being outside less, we are less able to enjoy the protective effects of being outside. So in the last point, which Cindy has already pointed out, that they still hear the excessive noise. Both homes still hear the excessive noise when they're inside with the windows closed. So in their own home, there's no relief, there's no refuge from the stress of chronic excessive noise exposure. So we thank you for listening to our concerns, and we look forward to hearing what actions the board can take to help mitigate this ongoing problem, which negatively impacts our health.
The other thing I'd like to point out is I am retired. I'm home. It's not like I go to work for 8 hours and come home. I am home.
I think we heard all of you. We all tried with listeners. We have people that have a concern. This is not a hopeless situation. I'm very confident that we can work it out, especially the way this whole group has represented themselves very respectfully. And that is really appreciated. I can feel your passion. Who owns this property?
Move trucking.
The trucking company owns the
I think
property?
Meehan owns it, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
And as I wrote,
Have you reached out to the owner of the
no,
property?
they're not making the sound. Move Trucking is making the sound.
Right.
When you look at the site that it's in, it was built for commercial purposes.
Well,
Colleen, you've looked at it as well. It has berms around it. But one of the issues is, and I've asked Jack before if we could take a look at the screen with the direction that it's facing. The Harrington Street side, the Route 16 side have nice tall berms as part of the berms that come down Crestview. However, that entire lot slopes quite a bit, probably 10 to 15 feet from one end to the other. So it's actually angled in our direction. And at the very corner, there's I want to say a catch basin of some sort, and there's really no berm there. It's just a catch basin, and I think the sound is being funneled, bouncing off those big berms, just funneled in our direction, and it actually shoots right down our street. So if you're looking at houses, in different directions from Crestview, maybe even shorter distances, they may not hear it as much, but it's going right down our street. And the Nichols family, what number, Brian, are you? Is that 43? So they can hear it all the way down the street because it shoots right down the street because of the way the property's angled. I would say that they did their due diligence when they designed that property. However, thinking about Harrington Street more so and Route 16 and those neighbors as opposed to the Crestview Drive because there's woods there. They think the woods are going to buffer it, they won't hear it, but unfortunately, we can hear it, and it's just bouncing right into our neighborhood. It's daily, it's chronic, great. But I would like to touch on some safety points. And again, I mentioned before, safety trainer. I've designed safety plans for industry as well as educational facilities. And I enjoy that. I enjoy safety. And I would say this site in particular is not a construction site, it's a general industry site. Now, when you're on a construction site, they do require backup alarms on every vehicle, right? Whether it's a skid steer, a dump truck, or even a lift of some sort. If you're backing up, you're required to have a backup alarm on it. One of the loud audible ones. And for a while, when they were building that site, it was horrible noises coming from there. But the good news is we knew it was going to end. I think it took 6 months to a year for them to finally finish that site. We heard those alarms every day, but we knew there was going to be an end to that sound. It was some horrible sounds. There was rock tumbler, there was everything over there. But we saw the light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, no problem. This is one of those situations where it's not going to end. They're just going to keep on going unless we do something collectively to solve this problem. So with that, there are 4 standards, by the way. So there's general industry, which is what that site is, right? There's construction, there's maritime and agriculture, right? So construction, again, has the alarms, general industry, not so much. They of course, worker safety is paramount, right? No one wants workers to get hurt, especially me. I always kind of look for that. But there should also be multiple levels of safety, not just one safety net, which is what they're using as an audible alarm. Right, there are many other things you can do. I think I listed some in the paper I sent out as well. I'll just go over the list quickly. Strobes, right? Lights, flashing lights, haptic systems, where the instructor could wear something that vibrates if a truck gets close. So some electronics could be involved, but not a huge investment, correct? Barriers. So if you're really worried about your workers, especially the instructors that are directing traffic, I would put up some Jersey barriers where they are. So even if a truck ignored their warning or something, they could still be safe and not get run over, right? That's the big thing, the backup problem. A headphone system that they could use. The driver and the instructor could talk to each other. Remote control brakes if an instructor saw the truck out of control, they could hit a button, remote control brakes. Backup cameras. Right, that's a new mass law that trucks are supposed to have backup cameras that should be in place. I'm not sure if it is in these vehicles. I haven't really looked closely at them. I just hear them. Spotters, just someone directing traffic out there. And then they have white noise alarms and automatic reducing alarms that if they get sound from the background, if the background noise goes up, they reduce their sound. There's a slew of easily solved problems here. Just by most of these are electronic or whatever, but small investment stuff, a few $100s here or something like that. But I don't understand why their answer was just a flat no. I wish they had tried to work with us or find some solutions. The white noise alarms, I'm not a big fan. You probably heard them. They kind of like sound like an engine cranking. I don't know. I can't really reproduce that very well, but apparently they do dissipate quickly. The high-pitched 120 decibel backup alarms, right? They're piercing, and they're supposed to be piercing. They're supposed to warn people that there are things happening, correct? But I guess these other types of white noise alarms you'll hear them if you're right behind them. And I guess they fractionate and dissipate quickly so that they can't be heard at a distance. So again, I don't, whether that's true or not, that's what I've been reading. I've been doing a lot of research on this topic. Then of course, the site as well, they make construction fence that is a sound barrier. It can be put on top of the berms that are there. They did put some pine trees around there. Again, it really isn't having a positive effect for us. So there are things that can be done here. Some of them rather inexpensively sometimes, and you could just, can't they just quiet these existing alarms down? They put duct tape on them. I don't know, like I've never tried it, but they could do, I'm assuming they could do something here to work with us and work with you to make this a better environment for all of us. Right? And we hear the truck brakes, we hear the engines revving. So I guess we're looking for two things here. One is for them to quiet those backup alarms down, quiet them down or eliminate them. Come up with one of these other 8 things I just mentioned to you. The other one is to just acknowledge that we exist. I think that maybe they think they're in a vacuum over there and that they're their own society, but right, a few hundred feet away is Crestview Drive and it's affecting us. We've already told them, the planning board chair told them at the time, and they just said, no, we're not going to change anything OSHA. And we're just saying, no, work with us, please, just work with us going forward, and we'll be happy to work with you. Maybe they want to try something and we could, tell them it's working or not working. Whatever, we're a pretty easygoing neighborhood. I think we all get along, right?
Well, as a nurse and an environmental engineer, I understand exactly of what you speak, because it is in fact disturbing your environment, and there are ways to handle this, as you say. And I don't know if anybody has decided. I don't know who's in charge of that. Is this side of the table
They let the groom, and that's it. I'm just kidding. No. No, so basically, we're all together, okay? I'm one of the spokespeople
right.
for the group. It's basically a collective effort and people's input that went into that initial mitigation request that was sent to you earlier.
Right. Well, it certainly is demoralizing as for the community, and as Dr. Lucas has said, it's very it's damaging. So, I'm interested in finding a solution too for you.
And just so you know, we have tried working with the zoning official. We believe it's a zoning violation as well, because any operation that goes in the town of Mendon has to follow the zoning bylaws, and it mentions noise pollution as well as other types of pollution as well. We haven't had much luck there. Still working on that. So one way or another, we hope to solve this.
Okay. I'm going to ask Jack to find out who the owner of the property.
I can tell you.
Determination Inc.
Determination Inc.
Okay, so that's a Mr. Meehan property.
No, I don't know. Jason Meehan. So it went from Mr. Sabatinelli.
Yeah.
Conveyed it to looks like Mr. Meehan in 2016, January 8th of 2016. Mr. Meehan conveyed it on July 27th of 2016 to a Determination Inc.
I believe that's his son.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so just verify who the owner of record is of the property, and let's verify who the owner of the trucking company is. Okay, because they're 2 people that are
In trouble.
they're sort of responsible
Right, exactly. Yeah.
to.
I have the phone number for the school.
Okay.
I haven't reached out to them yet, but I will.
Now, I'll ask Colleen and Tom. I don't know who wants to speak on this. Tom has been involved in noise nuisance complaints before and could probably recite the section of the mass laws. Colleen, you've also gone out to sites with a meter.
What type of-
So between Colleen and Tom, whoever wants to speak on
Tom can.
Well, greetings, everyone. I want to thank the residents for coming forward to speak to us on this issue tonight, specifically Mr. Bellin and Dr. Lucas. You provided some very good, insightful information, both from the technical perspective and the medical perspective. I'd like to think that we as a Board of Health could potentially do something here to mitigate the problem for our residents. The noise is one of those things that sometimes can, kind of be put on the back burner as far as being addressed, but it sounds like from what's been described tonight, this really goes to the heart of residents being able to enjoy their livelihoods essentially and enjoy their properties as they have every right to do. So I'd like to think that we as a group in the Board of Health could put together, start to do some investigation and create some sort of action plan to investigate and see what we can do. I am also a little disappointed and disheartened to hear the lack of responses that are coming from a couple of different areas here. I find that a little bit disturbing. It's not, I don't think it's something that our residents deserve and should expect from leadership in the town. So that would be my overall thought to it. We have addressed noise issues in the past. It sounds like a very, very strong, a very encroaching issue that is really preventing a group of people from, enjoying their livelihood, and also goes, as Dr. Lucas indicated, to the well-being of individuals in general, their health and well-being. So I'm hopeful that we can take the ball here and see what we can do to help the situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Colleen, do you want to kind of provide us with an action plan?
Well, I'm going to contact the school. I'm gonna ask
The
to
driving
meet them, to meet them on site. And ask them when the hours of operation are. We're gonna go down with the decibel, take a reading there. And then we have these access right of entry forms that I'm gonna ask the neighborhood to allow me to enter onto your property,
Absolutely.
to take some readings while the school is in progress. Just ask each one of you to take one, fill it out, and give it back to us, just so that we have them for our file.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be.
Yeah, with the assessor's office too, are you?
Huh?
Are you with the assessor's office?
She didn't ask to come in.
No.
I know everyone's thinking that
I
now.
have enough hats. I don't need another one. So what I'll do is find out the hours of operation of when they're having classes, number one. I'm going to go down and speak with them and let them know the concerns. Probably take some pictures of what the overall landscape looks like there. Probably take some pictures of your backyards as well. While the school is in operation, I plan on coming up to your yards and taking readings. So then we can get some benchmark on it. And I am hopeful that they'll be receptive to some, collaborative conversation. And that's the angle that we're gonna take first, is to approach them in that way. And then, all we can do is go from there. I want you guys to know too, that we did speak with the town planner about this issue and about possibly working together collaboratively with other departments as well, and coming up with a business license that would set hours of operation, so that, there would be some understanding between the permit that they receive from the town and, and their responsibilities as a business in this town, especially where some of the businesses abut residential neighborhoods. I think it's important for us to establish hours of operation so that it doesn't interfere with your quiet enjoyment of your properties. So we're gonna work with the planning board, to come up with some sort of a business license. And they will expire annually, so the businesses will have to renew them every year.
Okay.
And what we can do is keep track of if there are other businesses and you have, and they're interfering with the quiet enjoyment of your property, that you voice that concern to the police department so that there's a record, so that these items will be taken into consideration on the renewal of each business. And like you said before, we're not here to stop anyone from operating, but we need to work together so that we don't interfere with each other's enjoyment of the property, their business operation, your enjoyment of your residential neighborhood. So that's going to be my approach first. I'll report back to the board. We could probably put it on as an agenda item for our next meeting, just to have some follow-up. More than happy to update you guys on the progress that I make. You can check in with the office anytime you want. Jack is always there. And I'm more than happy to speak with these individually as well.
Because Harrington Street used to be a rural road.
I don't know the status of it. I do know that it's mixed zoned right now.
It is now, but when,
Right. The majority of Harrington Street is commercial. There's only one small pad that's zoned residential. And it's where that apartment building is.
right,
That's the only pad of Harrington Street that's zoned residential. The rest of it is commercial.
I don't think it was always,
I
because
don't know when it changed,
That's
but
it,
like
that's it.
now,
The zone.
we took a
That's
look
it,
at the
right.
zoning map. But like I said, we did speak with the town planner, so we're gonna work together on that too. So, I'm hopeful that we can come to some sort of, an accord with this business. It's something that, we've had, the board and myself have had success with, and other things that have gone on in the town of Mendon, so I'm hopeful for it. And I'm more than happy to keep you guys updated as far as the progress goes. We can keep it on the agenda for the next meeting if Alan agrees to that. Guys come in, happy to update you.
perfect.
No, absolutely. And whether it matters or not, I am familiar with the property. I've been a long time contractor for the Mendon Community Church. So I'm there every time it snows. So I'm very familiar. I remember the property before it was developed.
Mhm.
Okay, so again, I don't know if that helps, but I'm familiar with the area and the changes that have taken place there. Because when that site was first built, weren't they parking Amazon tractor trailers there
Right.
for a while?
And that wasn't all that enjoyable either. However, it was intermittent. It wasn't constant. So once in a while, we hear a trailer truck, you hear the brakes of an engine revving, but it would go away in a few seconds or a few minutes. But it's not like this. It's different. And again, we're not opposed to the operations there. We're just opposed to the sound it makes right now.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate that approach, that you want to coexist with them.
Yeah, and we understand we need tax revenue in the town. We're all not against that either. So from commercial businesses that are willing to pay those taxes. Just one last thing I want to share here is a couple safety documents. One is regulations for Massachusetts vehicles and backup alarms specifically. And the other one is in your packet. It's the one upside down sheet. I'm not sure how that happened.
Good time.
Yes, yeah. Didn't shuffle them right. Didn't shuffle the deck right. That's the OSHA interpretation by an OSHA official on backup alarm use. And again, in the first paragraph, he mentions that it is not a construction standard. It is a general industry standard that we're talking about here. But he's saying backup alarms really don't exist in the general industry standard. And that's what it is. It's a general industry site. There are some areas highlighted, but again, that's what construction sites. And this paper right here on Massachusetts commercial vehicles talks about backup alarms, but it mentions fuel trucks, it mentions dump trucks, and construction vehicles as mandatory. And again, if they want to have backup alarms, they can do it. Just quiet them down, or use a different type or any, and again, safety is typically in multiple layers. Safety is not typically one thing, not just wearing a yellow vest. It may have several layers. It could be clothing, it could be strobe lights, it could be barriers, it could be painted lines on the ground, right? So again, that's safety isn't just backup alarms, right? It could be 5 different things going at one time. Safety rules, training, you name it. That's safety, not OSHA. And it's not, nope, can't shut the alarms off, right? It's, we take a team approach and I'll even help them up free of charge. I'll help them develop a safety plan in that lot, right? Which I feel I have the knowledge to do.
Right.
So anyway, I don't want to always step my bounds here.
No, no,
We're lucky to
really
have
appreciated.
Colleen, we had a nice conversation recently about this, and you're lucky to have someone with such knowledge as well.
Well, and also
Thank
just
you.
to make another note, Jack supervises inspectional services. So all those other boards, planning board, zoning board, building department and everything, Jack does a lot of coordination of the in-house employees on a daily basis. So you've come to the right place because Jack's the man.
Awesome. Great.
I plan on reaching out to the zoning agent as well.
Okay.
And also too, so that you guys know, as a last resort, we can also notify the DEP because it's a CMR rig. Ultimately, it's 111, for the Board of Health, but it's a CMR rig regarding local noise, odor and dust complaints. And the DEP has worked with me on another property in Mendon, what was it, 2 summers ago?
Yeah.
So
Very
we have
effective.
contact, right, very effective. We have contacts there as well.
And the property owner was receptive,
Very.
which was, so we're anticipating the same thing, that the property owner and the tenant are gonna work with us.
One last thing, I do have some decibel readings if you're interested. But they're right on my phone. It's an app I use. So it's not like an official instrument. It is a NIOSH app, which is National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health app. So it's an official app, but the readings are.
Can you email them to Jack?
I can, sure. Yeah. I can give you a hard copy right now.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good. And then these 2, if they're the access agreements.
Sure.
So if you guys want to fill them out so that I can go in your backyards and get a reading.
Would that be advantageous to do before you go visit the company? No.
I would say you would want to visit them first so that you have that,
Yeah, because they're going to continue their operation,
right.
regardless of the conversation. But I don't know.
You would have some proof that, it is billing out. Yes.
No, that's sure.
Address and then
You said? Oh, okay.
so it's weird.
These are the decibel readings.
Thank you.
Thought you were gonna play off your phone.
The only thing I'll say in closing with this particular agenda item, so that you guys can all do your paperwork, is that Colleen's approach has been very effective in all areas that affect, that come under the Board of Health. Her first approach, a lot of times is usually to educate someone. Sometimes someone doesn't realize that they are violating the public health rules, and then to help them comply. So she's got a really good approach, getting things done.
Thank you.
Other than that, if there's not anything else, we're gonna close this particular agenda item. And you can complete your paperwork and turn it in before you leave class. Thank you very much. All right.
Thank you all very much.
And I'm sorry that you have to go through this. That'd be demoralizing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone have a copy? There was.
No, that's what I just said to. No, that was, yeah. Yeah. Wonder what's happening.
What?
Helicopter.
I know, I heard. I wonder if it's that, that poor kid today.
You, Tom.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Conservatives.
I have too many files. Yeah.
That was.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Jackie, I said.
I really don't care.
Thank
I'm just sitting about up for everything.
Yeah, I'm Alex Moran.
Nice to meet you.
John Moran, my dad.
I joined your screened-in porch to your pool
Oh, yeah.
many years
I
ago.
didn't have the, we bought the house.
I understand that. I was very happy to hear that. Not easy to whole day, it's not easy to stay in Mendon.
Yeah, no, it worked out for us.
I was trying to think, my twins are 28 now. They were probably about
Thank you.
3 or 4 then.
Okay, so I must have been 8, I'm 34 now.
Okay.
Yeah,
What number is this?
36.
Please say hello to your mom.
Oh, you're gonna sign it too.
Yeah, well, they're down in Rhode Island now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's awesome. No, they were super. And Dave Marshall is the one that pointed them in my direction.
Yeah, I played soccer with this.
Oh, good.
Well, good to see you again, I guess.
Thank you so much. Excuse me, folks. The audio system in here is gonna pick everything up. I don't wanna rush you along. Thank you.
My list.
Nice meeting you.
Good being seen.
Did you fill out one of these?
See you, Tom.
Did you fill out one of these?
I did, my wife.
Hey, good night, Tom. Thanks again. We'll be talking with you.
Hi, thanks. Nice.
I'd just like to say too, before we move on to the next agenda item, Jack, fantastic job on the graphic. That was extremely helpful.
All right, folks, we're gonna move on to the next agenda item. We're gonna move on to item 5, old business, senior trash discount survey results, please.
All right, so as the board remembers, back in May 2025, we mailed out to all active trash subscribers with their invoice a survey asking about the senior discount that the Board of Health offers. We offered that survey, and it was gonna end, it did end September 1st, 2025. So I've given the board copies of the survey results that we have received in. So for responses, we have, for mail, we've mailed out 1,916 surveys. Total responses received back was 405, with this response rate of 21%. All right, so the first question on the survey was, would you recommend leaving the senior discount program as is? Right now, the senior program is 50% off the standard rate. 253 said yes, 136 said no. The question number 2, would you recommend an adjustment to the discount percentage currently in place? 124 respondents said yes, 241 said no. Question number 3, would you recommend an annual flat rate discount be applied versus a percentage discount? 101 said yes, 247 said no. And the 4th question was, would you recommend an added requirement of limiting the household occupants? 202 said yes, 171 said no. Out of all the responses, 74 were received in online and 331 were received by mail-in surveys. And out of those, I have received 155 comments, which I've also given to the board.
And that was a lot.
Yeah.
I was
Great
very,
presentation, Jack.
What's that?
He said, great.
Oh, thank you.
Great, yeah, great presentation.
Thank you.
reading the comments.
And this is amazing. Just want to say.
Thank you. Reading the comments.
Reading
I
the
don't think,
comments.
I don't think we need to go any further than comment number 22.
Comment number 22.
Yeah. That's it. You folks do a great job. That's all we need to know.
I was very surprised to how many kind of circled back towards Prop 2.5 overrides and seniors still paying, the schools and things like that, which really wasn't the direction we were going in. But obviously, those issues really bother the taxpayers.
Yeah.
And, I understand and sympathize with, everyone that made a comment.
Yeah.
But we know the present route we're on is going to be almost impossible to maintain due to the increasing number of seniors. But I think, that those 4 questions on the first page kind of tell us what the people think we should do and what their, opinion on it is. So to echo my fellow board members, great job.
Thank you. I honestly think that, again, this is just my opinion. I don't live in town, so this is just my opinion out of town. That you guys should go back to limiting it to 2 people. And if there was a third, come before the board and decide it's a yay or nay. Because at one point on the senior discount, I forget what year it was, but it was at limiting 2 people for the discount.
I agree to that. Because in most senior housing, that's what you have. You have, like in my house, there's the 2 of us. Jane Lowell, there was the 2 of them. And different people, they were doing it. I mean, like, we don't put the trash out every week because we try to be conscientious users and that sort of thing. And, I agree with that.
For the board to think about, because it's really an agenda topic for November sometime, because I gotta do the survey for next year as it gets mailed out with the census.
Comments?
Yeah, just that, great job, Jack, again, in putting that together. I'm probably going to need a little bit of time to digest the commentary a bit to really formulate a complete answer to a direction that we might need to go in the future. And in general, too, I want to thank the residents out there for responding to the survey. Very appreciative of that. I had hoped it might have been a little higher response rate, but do appreciate those that took the time to do that. So, we'll see as I start to read through some of this commentary. I'll formulate a little thought on my view as to whether or not the program needs to change or not. Part of that may come down to the economics. Alan, as you pointed out, we'll see how it kind of plays out. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll take some time to talk about this, think about it amongst ourselves, and we'll revisit it.
November or December.
Why don't we say the beginning of November?
Okay.
Just so that we don't put it off. And if for some reason our agenda is full, we can put it off to the next meeting.
Okay.
Start off with our first meeting in November. We're sure not to delay it too long.
Okay.
All right, thank you all for your participation in that survey. We're gonna move on to the next agenda item if no one has any objections. Board of Health admin updates, please.
All right, so as we all know, the Board of Health fee schedule updates have increased pricing for 26, 27, and 28. I just emailed all our vendors again, letting them know that the prices are increasing for next fiscal year or next calendar year, I should say. So again, I just want to let the board know that the mailing has gone out again for all the vendors that we currently have permitted. So they are aware again.
Thank you, sir.
It's so funny to see Tom Bell and Dr. Lucas, because both of them I worked with back in the day. And Dr. Lucas, I hired at Tri River. Yes, I was president of Tri River at the time. When I hired him. Crazy, huh?
All comes full circle.
Very quickly, apparently.
Yeah, the years to fly. All right, so we're gonna move to health agent updates, please.
The blasting regulations are, I'm working on, I'm not ready to, collaborate yet with, the fire chief. Did talk with, conservation, and, planning about them, but they're still in a draft stage. Food, well, we had the Rock the Block this past Saturday. That went very well. People were having a great time until the weather came. There are quite a few food trucks there. Was there for most of the afternoon. We have this Saturday, we have the highway event. Jack and I will be participating in with there's food trucks at that event as well. We're gonna probably have a table with some information on it. We have the tick tweezers that we're gonna be giving out and other information that we have. The food establishments were in really good shape as far as inspections go. Dominique was out today doing a couple of re-inspections and just been busy with Kinsley Lane and now the Crestview will probably occupy some time. But other than that, we're gonna probably work on, Jack and I were talking today about 'tis the season. As Jack said, boo-hoo for the flu.
Oh, yes.
Along those lines, I have a question. I believe last year you had an opportunity for people that couldn't physically make it to one of the clinics. You did some remote. Do you do the high dose remote?
Depends on what day.
Amy is working with another one, another corporation, I should say, with a high dose. The Salmon family does not do high dose.
Right.
She made that clear again this year to Amy at the Wilson Seven City Center, but she gave her a couple of organizations to work with. I forget the name of the company, but Amy did find an organization that's gonna be doing the high doses for seniors. So Amy is working with somebody for that.
Okay. If you could keep me informed, I have someone that would like some sort of remote flu shot, if at all possible.
Absolutely.
She finds it very difficult to
Yep.
leave home, unfortunately.
Mhm.
And in the past, she's always had the high dose. So please let me know how it's available. I would appreciate
I'll
that.
get that into you tomorrow.
Fantastic. Thank you. Anything else?
Mm-mm.
Well, all right, very good as well. You know, thank you very much. And again, as I had assured the group from Crestview, you know, continue with your approach. It's very effective. And it seems to get things done.
Yes,
So, thank you.
I'll look forward to it. Plus, we also have, the, 5L88 is doing their truck pull at the end of the month, so we've been.
What is it? I didn't.
5L88, the gym, they're doing their truck pull for muscular dystrophy on the 22nd, so we've been getting in, food permit applications for that as well.
So where is that?
Right across the street from you in that Hastings Street.
Oh,
Yep, they do it down there. They have the truck pull, all their proceeds go towards, I'm pretty positive it's muscular dystrophy.
Yeah, it's gonna be a busy weekend. The brothers have their car show at the Clough School that same day.
Yep,
So,
well, everybody that goes from one to the other.
there you go.
yeah, I'll tell you what, it's really been a busy summer
Yeah.
with, you know, the farm, having their things on Fridays and Sundays, and then all the intermittent food
Right.
events that we've had. I mean, we've had a really busy summer.
Yeah, a lot of things for people to do in the town of Maine.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna move on. Topics not anticipated within 48 hours. Tom Fickner, anything?
No, nothing in particular. Probably just to ask, well, we can wait till we start talking about the next meeting. So nothing under this agenda. Thank you.
Joyce, anything?
No,
All right. Pauline, Jack? Oh, I'm good too. We're gonna move on to good and welfare for the board. Anybody feel free to chime in?
I do just want to notice
Well-
that. Oh, go ahead, Tom.
Well, I didn't know if I had missed it at all in the beginning of the meeting, missing the audio. I didn't know if Alan was going to speak to what we learned news-wise regarding
Yes,
our past
that
colleagues.
was presented.
It was,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, of course, I didn't hear that. Just to share that, yeah, I was very sad to hear the news. When I first came on the board, Lenny was sort of a mentor for me and helped guiding me to how best to approach, you know, being on the Board of Health, how to view situations, and, you know, always tried to remind me that it's always a good idea when you have a board or a department structured the way we have it, where you have board members and you have folks that work out in the field, such as Colleen and the role of health agent, that you want to make sure you kind of let those folks who handle the day-to-day do their work, do their job, and kind of, from a board perspective, not always want to be looking to implement enforcement, but also to kind of be an avenue for folks that may receive some sort of enforcement action for whatever reason, to at least know that they can come before the board to, you know, discuss the situation and feel that the board members can view the situation with an open mind. So, yeah, I'm very much appreciative for Lenny and all the work he's done in the past, and yep, we'll miss him. Thanks.
how old is he?
83-ish,
Yeah.
I'd say, around there. 83-ish,
Yeah.
84-ish, something, not much older, not older than that, I don't know.
No.
He was living in Hopedale at the time, was he?
No, he lives in,
Congress Street?
yeah, Milford.
Oh, Milford, oh,
Yeah, corner of Congress and Pine Street.
okay, I know that. See, I thought he lived in. I don't know.
All right. The only thing I have, and I happen to see this on the news. It's called a Bloom, B-L-O-O-M. The city of Peabody right now is doing it, and the purpose is mental health access and affordability. It seems as though guidance counselors being overwhelmed by the students that are coming in, middle school and high school, saying that they're suffering from burnout between school and sports. So I don't know if our parents that are right behind me are maybe pushing our kids in too many directions and being overachievers and standouts in sports is starting to have an effect.
Yeah.
So like I said, it's called the Bloom app. And I know the city of Peabody instituted this within their school system. I haven't gone online and looked it up in the app store or anything like that. But I found it very interesting. I know my kids, multi-sports, academics, plus they were self-driven. I'd like to think, but it seems that we may be paying a price.
Yeah.
So that's all I have.
I just want to let the board know as a reminder, our next meeting scheduled for September 24th is our public hearing for the private well regulations.
Oh, okay.
The newspaper ad has been placed and it has now been published, so that is out for the public hearing. So just a reminder that the next meeting, we will be having a public hearing on the private well regulations. That's all I have.
So we'll open the meeting.
Open the meeting, I said that the public hearing will be on at 7:15. So for our hearing, do what we have to do at 7:15, open the public hearing.
Then close that
And close it.
and go back to our meeting.
Yep.
Okay, very good. All right, folks, so we already have our next meeting date and time. If no one has anything else, we can have a motion.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
All in favor?
I'll second the motion.
Now we'll do the. all
Okay,
in
Alan,
favor.
now your turn.
All right. All in favor?
Joyce,
Tom,
aye.
I.
Alan, aye. Thank you very much, Tom. Enjoy your vacation. Appreciate you taking the time.
Where are you?
Oh, absolutely, yep.
exactly? Where are you?
What's that, Joyce?
Where are you?
Down the Cape, down in Howard.
Oh, Howard, yeah. I was just wondering,
Yeah.
because, you know, I'm in Dennis, down there, so. Not now, but summer.
All right, good night, everybody.
Yep,
Good night.
thanks very much, all.